Hi guys, it's Legionero. Welcome back to my channel, and I would like to welcome all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Today we're taking it back to the basics with this really cute and simple clutch bag, all right? But we're putting a twist on it. As you can see, this clutch bag is multicolored. Now you can do multicolored on one side and solid on the back like I decided to do, but you can definitely do multicolored on both sides, all right? So let's go over all the tools you need to make this really cute and simple clutch. All right, let's talk about the tools you're going to need. You're going to need your 2 pattern pieces, right? I'll link the information in the description box below on how to get your pattern. You're going to need some paper scissors to cut out your pattern. You're going to need some fabric scissors to cut out your fabric. You're going to need some lining fabric. A fat quarter will do. This is a fat quarter I got from Walmart. You're also going to need your 2 contrasting fabrics. I'm using vinyl. You're going to need your interfacing. Since I'm using vinyl, I'm not going to need fusible fleece, but if you are using a cotton cloth or something lighter, you need some fusible fleece. You need some woven interfacing for your lining. You need pins or clips. And you need at least a 9-inch zipper, as well as your sewing machine, coordinating thread, your ironing board. So let's get started. So when you print out your pattern, you should have 2 pattern pieces. All right, and I put an arrow on here so you'll know which way you're cutting your fabric. All right. All right. So we're just going to cut around the solid lines. All right, so on your pattern pieces, it should say cut 2 of your main fabric and cut 2 of your contrasting pieces. And both of these are main pieces. All right, so let's grab our fabric. All right, so here are my 2 fabrics. These are both marine vinyl that I got from fabric.com. So I'm using this pink. And I'm not quite sure what this is, but in my mind it's like a gray type. I don't know. Anyway, this is going to be for my contrasting pattern piece, which is the smaller pattern piece. So you just line it up. And I'm just going to cut down. All right. And you would cut 2 of these, but I'm actually going to do something different. I am going to cut 1 of my contrasting and 1 of my main. The main is my bigger pattern piece. And then my back will be 1 solid color. But if you want both sides of your clutch to be contrasting, make sure you cut 2 of each of your pattern pieces. And I'll show you what I'm doing once we get to that part of the video. But go ahead and cut your main pieces. All right. And you notice I haven't said anything about cutting a lining yet. All right. That is because we're going to do that later in the video. But go ahead and cut your 2 contrasting pieces and your 2 main pieces. But like I said, for me, one side of my clutch will be contrasting and the other side will be solid. So, all right, so what you're going to do once you have your pieces cut, now if both sides of your clutch is going to be contrasting, go ahead and follow these steps for both of your pieces. Go ahead and place your pieces with right sides facing. And since I'm using vinyl, I am using clips, not pins. right? And do your other contrasting pieces the same way. So the other side of your clutch, do the same thing. Go ahead and clip or pin depending on your fabric. And we're going to sew down this edge using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now open this up, and what you're going to do, you're going to top stitch. Now I'm using pink thread, so I'm going to fold it, and my seam allowance is going towards the pink. So I'm just going to fold this and top stitch on the pink because I'm using pink thread. Alright, now do your other pieces. If you chose to do the contrasting pieces for both sides of your clutch, go ahead and do your other pieces the same way. Alright, so remember when I said earlier in the video that my back piece is going to be solid. So now that I've sewn my two contrasting pieces together, now I'm going to cut my back piece. So I'm just going to line it up. And I'm just going to cut around to have my back piece. But if you use contrasting on both sides, you won't have to worry about doing this. Right, so now I have my front and back pieces. So now, go ahead and grab your lining. And you're going to use, doesn't matter which one, to now cut your lining piece. Your fabric should not be wrinkled like mine. Make sure you press your fabric. Alright, so now I have my front and back pieces, and I also have my two lining pieces. Right, and after you cut out your lining pieces, go ahead and cut out your interfacing for your lining pieces, and go ahead and add your interfacing to your lining pieces. Right, so here's my interfacing for my lining. Just go ahead and place your lining onto your interfacing and cut around. Alright, so when you get ready to iron your interfacing to your lining, the wrong side of your lining should be facing up, and your interfacing, it has a bumpy side and a smooth side. Place the bumpy side on top of the wrong side of your fabric. Alright, so bumpy side facing the wrong side of your fabric, and you take it to the ironing board and you press until it is properly fused. When you can stick your fingernail in the corner and it doesn't lift up, that means your interfacing is properly fused. Now, if you're not using vinyl, if you're using a cotton cloth or a canvas, you want to make sure that you cut interfacing for that. So once you cut out your main pieces, you sew the contrasting together, then go ahead and cut your interfacing, or you can cut everything all at once. It just depends on how you want to do it. Alright, so I got my pieces interfaced, and I got my two main pieces, and I have my zipper. Go ahead and grab your zipper. I had to shorten the zipper because it was a separating zipper and it was too long, so I had to shorten it, and I added zipper tabs. So if you don't know how to do zipper tabs, I will link that video in the description box below. So what we're going to do now, take one of your main pieces and one of your lining pieces and your zipper. Take your zipper and place it face down. The zipper pull should be facing the right side of your fabric. Alright, and I like to place a clip here just to kind of hold it in place. Then take one of your lining pieces and place it on top. All right. So your two pieces are right side spacing with your zipper sandwiched in between, and your zipper pull is facing the right side of your main piece. All right, you're going to take this to the sewing machine and you're going to sew down this edge using your zipper foot. Right now, so I'm just going to open this up and I'm going to flip it so that the wrong sides are facing, and we're going to top stitch down this edge. And I noticed that you probably noticed that I'm not using a oh gosh, what do you call it? A different foot when I'm sewing over vinyl. That's only because my foot glides over the vinyl fine. I don't have any issues with it. That's why I'm not using a Teflon foot. I couldn't think of what it was. Alright, so now that we have this side attached to our zipper, let's go ahead and attach the other side. So take your other main piece. Make sure everything lines up nice and neat. I'm going to take my clip. So your two main pieces are right side spacing. Take your other lining piece and place it on top. So your two lining pieces are now right side spacing with your zipper sandwiched in between. You're going to clip down this edge, then take it to the sewing machine and sew down this edge with your zipper foot, and then top stitch just like we did the other side. And I'll meet you back here. Alright, take your two pieces that you just sewn, make sure that they're wrong sides facing, and go ahead and top stitch down that edge. Alright, so now we have both our main pieces and our lining pieces sewn. Go ahead and unzip your zipper, right, about halfway, a little bit more. Take your two main pieces and place them with right sides facing, and your two lining pieces with right sides facing. Now, if you are going to add a wristlet, this will be the time where you would add your wristlet. So if you're adding a wristlet, depending on what size you want your wristlet, this is where you would place your strap tab. You would measure down maybe about an inch, inch and a quarter, and you would place your strap tab on the inside of your bag while you're pinning or clipping. When you are clipping, make sure that your seam allowance is going towards the lining. Right, so clip all the way around and make sure you leave an opening in the bottom of your lining. Make sure it's large enough so you can place your hand through and turn your bag. So about 4 to 5 inches. If you don't know how to make a wristlet, I will link that video in the description box below for you. right, now you can take this to the sewing machine and starting at one clip or pin, sew all the way around to the other one, making sure that you leave your opening in the bottom of your lining. All right, now that you've sewn all the way around, go ahead and clip your corners as close as you can to the stitching, but not going over the stitching. Right, now just place your hand through that opening you left in the lining. You can unzip your zipper a little bit more. Turn your bag to the right side. I left my opening big enough this time for easy turning. Yay me. Right. Poke out all your corners, make it nice and neat. I love this marine vinyl because it's sturdy, but it's also very soft. Makes for easy sewing and turning. Alright, so now all you have to do now is once you have it turned and all your corners poked out, all you have to do is sew up the opening that you left in the lining. Right, so there's your opening. Just fold in that seam allowance and just sew really close to that edge. And then place your lining on the inside of your bag and you'll be all done. All right, guys, that's it. Now you have a really cute and simple multicolored clutch bag. All right, this is a quick and easy project to get done in under an hour, and the results are great. Thank you for watching this video. I post videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next tutorial.